Hello, everybody, and welcome in. Guess where I'm at, and guess who I'm with? Look who it is.
Hi, everybody. I'm back.
She is back, and she's in charge today. I've told her, I said, she's already laughing. I've already told her, you're in charge. You're going to guide this ship, and Lord only knows where this ship is going to go.
I'm going to hit the coral reef.
It's going to be terrifying. So, me and my mom decided to do another unboxing from the continuation from the collection that we already had for our first consignment sale. And my mom and I in that video were amazed at the things that we were seeing when we were unboxing because it was a live feed and we didn't know exactly what we were going to find. And to say the least, we were delighted. So what sits in front of us is another box from the same consignor. And it is, let's see here, it is 7 pounds, 2.4 ounces, and it's all jewelry. She boxed this one different because of the box the last time had some slight issues. Let me just flip this up and get this opened up. We did not open this at all. And Mom, what are you thinking today? Tell us how you're feeling.
Well, I was so overwhelmed, and it was just such a pleasure and a joy to see what was in the first box.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what this one probably has
Right.
too.
I know.
Probably the same.
I know. I'm amazed. And I did block off her address because I just, full transparency, but not when it comes to, consignment. I have to protect my people. So, let's get into this. And oh yes, she's already got a lot of foam and to protect this. And I wish, the camera's at a different angle, but you're just going to have to bear with us for right now. Mom, I'll go ahead and at least take this
I
out
think we were
and
almost
see.
speechless the last time.
Oh, look. Oh, this is great. Okay, yeah. She did this magnificent. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for making sure that this is... Oh, yeah, here we go. So we're just going to spill out... Mom, I'm already overwhelmed by what I'm seeing.
Okay.
I really am. This is going to be another... wow-wee is all I can say. We're going to go with... Holy cow. I didn't expect this. I thought we were... Okay, we're gonna... The whole box underneath here, just, for again, full transparency on my channel, because I don't hide anything. There are some channels that do, but not on mine. This is completely loaded all the way down in the bottom with solid silver and turquoise. And all vintage, I can already tell, all older pieces. So we'll get this out of the way just for now. And if we have time, I would like to be able to get to that. But let's just kind of go, not as quick as we can. But this is going to be basically the auction, or why do I keep saying auction? I was trained as an auctioneer. This is going to be the fixed price sale on BULLYRUNCOFFEE's channel, as all of you know, because you're going over and getting registered. And I'll put that in the description as well. So just so everybody knows, when this video airs, I will put the information for the channel and also for the email that you will email to register for the sale, what we need for registration. And again, no international shipping as of just right now. So we really appreciate your patience with that as well. So, shadow box, yeah, beautiful.
Let's get the first one.
Yeah, shadow box, ring, probably, I don't know why this is so bright right now. This is way too bright. Let's see here if I can turn this down. That's way washed out. Let's see if I can do this. No, that's, please accept my apology for me fidgeting. No, that's too bright. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn this light down and see if that is more acceptable for exposure. No, this isn't going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work. You can't even see my ring. That's all too flashed out. I am going to, let's see here. I'm going to pause the video just for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so I tried to pause that, and as you can see, now you can see the detail of my ring, but I don't know what was going on with that exposure. And I will say, I'm slightly different than other channels because I was trained as a photographer, so exposure and lighting is a big thing for me. But this is shadow box, beautiful vintage ring. The turquoise in that might be stabilized, but I'll get into those specifics, when we go to sell. Just keep feeding me stuff. Yeah. And what we'll do is we'll just put this underneath here, and we won't even worry about where it goes for right now. We'll just get it out of the way. These are beautiful. These remind me much more of Mexican silver than Native American. But again, sometimes through further research, this one looks more native, this one looks more Mexican to me. But we'll get into those, and it looks like almost like an azure malachite and maybe a stabilized lapis. So azure malachite and a lapis. But I love the ornate nature of those two rings. Beautifully constructed. Love the adjustable band on that one. So really gorgeous stones. And I do love the frame. And I've often talked about in my own mind, about like the, what do I say, the design of something. And I like that a stone is gorgeous, but I like that a mounting is just as beautiful. Like the frame of a painting. If you have a beautiful painting, you want a beautiful frame, and you want a great combination and a great conversation between the stone and the mounting. Both of these rings have that for me personally. Some people like a little bit more simple on the mountings, and I understand that as well. It all depends on the piece. I almost knocked this one off the table 2 seconds ago, but this one is signed here, and it is sterling. I don't know the artist on this, so I always take my time and do the appropriate research when it matters on an artist, and to me this one really truly matters. So I really think that is beautiful and simple and plain and direct, very heavy sterling silver. Hollow constructed, so 2-part construction, 1 sheet on the top, 1 sheet on the inside. Very difficult to do as a silversmith. If someone were to ask me to make this today in this size, I would charge at least $125 based on silver weight, construction, and the time that it would take to do something like this. Most people would look at this and say, that's far too simple. No, this is very direct. This is a very direct thing. And what I loved about these, and I use these in my own collection, I space my bracelets with these. I'll wear a very large, wide turquoise cuff. I'll put that right behind it, and then I'll put a large turquoise cuff behind that. So I'll stack 3 in a row. For that matter, you could wear it by itself or wear 2 together. Wear 2 of those, chunkier, simpler, more distilled down, very well crafted. I could get lost in these things, and what a life I live when I don't have to buy these pieces, and seeing someone else's passion, their love, their affection for jewelry, body adornment, and craft. When you have that sensitivity as a collector, it really does resonate with me as a collector and as a silversmith, and I hope that makes sense. Turquoise and red coral, very beautiful. I loved the asymmetry. Put a leaf here, put a red coral here. These directional turquoise pointing to that singular red coral. There's a story there. There's a concept there. Back in the day, they used these kind of wax crayons or sometimes a marker, and they will mark the price on that were at the, I don't want to say this is old pawn. We'll get into that term. It's like sometimes that's nails on a chalkboard for me with the term old pawn. It's very annoying when it's not used correctly. This is not old pawn. It may have went to a pawn shop at some point, but this was always meant for the Caucasian trade, and I'm allowed to say it that way. This was made for the tourists that came into these areas for trade. This was not native worn, This would have been a piece but the construction and the craft on that, absolutely exceptional. What are your feelings so far?
Unreal.
I know. I'm amazed already. I never expected this. Never. This is. I'm not going to comment on stone just yet. I'm not gonna go there. Looks more sodalite than it does lapis to me. I need to examine these things and spend some time with them. When you see someone who does the unboxing and they lecture you about what something is and don't do their appropriate research, that's kind of alarming. Does need to have a little bit of work done to it. This was worn and loved. Sterling silver construction, really fantastic. Love that open design and how they lined up those bezels. Each bezel is so carefully constructed for each stone. And look across that. See how each stone is definitely, there's a variable there of depth and width and shape and size. They had to keep track of what stone went in what bezel. Very good craft. very well thought out and very thick sterling silver. The price of silver right now, as the airing of this, has gone up drastically yet again. From even when in my infancy of buying it. A fun fact, and I hope this is okay to share, I made this sterling silver ring. And when I constructed this, silver, get this, silver was $3.81 an ounce. $3.81 an ounce. And even then it was expensive to be a silversmith. And now it's much more expensive to be a silversmith. And that's why we see much smaller scale items now. Seeing pieces like this that are big and substantial and heavy, that cost a lot to produce, we still see them, but we don't see them as much as we used to. But a lot of people will ask me, show us some of the things that you've made. And I did that one in, I think in the late 2000s. I don't remember, but I don't wear this a lot. And I did a double shank system to hold that on the finger, so it was very balanced, and this is so comfortable. I loved the patterning of that stone. I hope that's okay to share, but the price of silver has gone up drastically. So you're here for the sort and here for the discovery. This is that articulating eagle. Very, very, very sought after design in vintage Native American jewelry. The turquoise is likely stabilized. I don't see a lot of matrix that looks natural to me. In this given time period, right around late this one to me would be late 1970s in construction. And I'll look for an artist mark later, but that reads as late 1970s, maybe even into the 1980s on that one. This design had been popular for a long time. And look at those little sterling silver talons.
Ask about the middle.
Oh, the middle.
Yeah,
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are little sterling silver talons. And then look at the beak. It's inlaid wood, or inlaid stone, I'm sorry. But yeah, that is so beautifully done. And wonderfully carved and sterling silver construction. Great size. Sometimes these get very big and very clumsy, you know, and very difficult to wear if you're of a smaller size. But this one, it's got right on here.
Pretty.
Oh, and she said as of 2004, that was $325. And as of 2004, it looks like. Yeah, online price, absolutely. Stunning piece. Let's get this one out of the way, too. Oh, those are beautiful. Those look like coral. Coral and turquoise and angel skin. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. It's like a little whisper. This looks like Tane sterling, and it might be signed on the inside here. It may not be. It might be Mexican as well. Needs some work. Needs some help. Really beautiful, almost coiled design. Needs to be straightened out. You know, these things are worn and loved. They do tell a story of the past owner as well, and maybe these were, you know, previously owned before she owned them as well. But hopefully she watches this video, and I hope I make her proud. I really do. I never want to let down a consigner. Look at you lining stuff up, and then I go for something else.
I know,
that's okay. Sure, you can go ahead and line up. That's fine. Yeah, and these are the hair combs. We see these frequently. These are late 60s on these, and I've had these many, many times. And unfortunately, over time, you know, the drill, the celluloid, and the plastic, it does warp. You know, and there's not much you can do. You know, people say get a hairdryer and straighten it out. That doesn't work. It just simply doesn't work. So you got to buy them as they are. Sterling bands across the top, and the warp on here is pretty bad, pretty severe. You know, because the plastic, once it starts to go, there's nothing you can do, and you can see that gap. And that's just natural over time. Will it continue to let go on these? Probably yes, you know, sadly. And most of the time you'll find the band. And it's got two little stays, two little posts on either side. And you'll see those and you'll say, well, you'll find this and you'll say, well, what did that go to? You know? And that was just where those two little posts come through the combs. Those are beautiful, though, for native silver. Absolutely gorgeous. And that you can still wear them in your hair for sure and enjoy them. I'll go to these. These are absolutely beautiful. I love these, and I hope everyone's enjoying this video. We're 14 minutes in, and we've got like 9 million more things to show, and I'm going to try and get through as much as we can. And these are pierced earrings. Again, angel skin coral, again, going on appearance, angel skin coral, red coral, and more than likely stabilized turquoise. When I see that color, the alarm bell kind of goes off and says, and that's not a bad thing, you know, and I'll talk about stabilized turquoise, and we'll get into all that good information eventually in a video. And, you know, stabilized turquoise is fine. You know, it's just treated so that the color doesn't shift, you know. Sometimes do they inject it with resins and acrylics and stabilize it that way? They most certainly do. You know, is it acceptable on something like this that's, you know, more contemporary? It's perfectly legit and perfectly fine to have it that way. Those corals to me look natural. That reddish orange to me has not been dyed or treated, and that angel skin or salmon pink, you can see there's a variable there. So when I see that, then I realize that's probably not dyed or treated. Sugilite, turquoise, and spiny oyster in this one. Sorry that I missed the stones in this. I love this. You know, this is very small and yet very powerful. Mom, I'm sorry to
But you could layer that.
Yeah,
If
I'm
you
sorry to
want
like
to
take over the whole chat
make
here.
that smaller.
Yeah,
It's-
but you
it's
could put
easier
it
for
on.
you to get them up.
Thank you. Absolutely. You're helping out so much, though. You helped out in the last one. Yeah, these are signed. And, you know, these, normally to me, these are normal, you know, and I'm glad I waited to say it. Some people say these are Mexican. I've always known these to be Japan, and these are Japanese. The style is concho, you know, that engraved kind of dome, but they are Japanese, and these are not sterling. These are 980 silver. So sterling is 925 parts per thousand silver, and 950 is 950 parts per thousand is pure silver. So it's just got finer silver content, beautiful and very sound snaps as well. When you hear that, you know that those are not going to fall off, and they would be very comfortable because they're large, but they're lightweight. The finish on these and the engraving on these, hand engraved, that is exceptional work. These would be late 1950 into the 1960s as a vintage. Yeah, and these go more into the 80s on these. These are great. Very thick sterling silver, very direct design. Love them. And they're clip backs. Those are solid silver. Love those. Very reminiscent of the 80s. You know, Mom, we're going to have to put these in some larger bags. You know, because we can't, you know, we got to get them situated. Whoa. Wow. This stone needs to be looked at close. Yeah, I see a lot of natural matrix. I see, and I'm glad I got my loop out. See a lot of natural matrix, sterling silver, slightly out of oval. But that's just, you know, putting it on, taking it off, putting on, taking it off. I've always said just adjust this one time and don't keep pulling them back and forth. You'll break them. But this person was smart enough. You adjust it one time and you just roll it on and roll it off. You don't pull on it. You know, I've always said it's very easy to get these on and off. You just roll it. So you just roll that. You don't pull it. Yeah. You roll this on and off the wrist. So when you put that on, roll that on. Roll it off. Because people always ask me, how do you put them on and get them off? So easy. I'll do some research on this. To me, this isn't in the turquoise family of stones. That I would need to do some research on. Is it color enhanced? I don't think so. I do see a little orange peel on the surface of the stone that, you know, maybe, you know, through further examination, I might change my mind. But that is solid sterling silver and an amazing cuff. Very heavy, very thick. Yeah. I would date that one to late, that one's late 50s, maybe, possibly into the 60s. This I love. This would be a Jason cuff all day long. Let's see here. Sterling has to be. I don't see any hallmarks. The solder seams are a very strong indicator of sterling silver. Hand created, and then a monogram off center. This is magnificent. I love how simple it is. And then imagine this. Imagine buying this, and then, you know, you would say, I don't want someone's monogram. Take it to a jeweler or a silversmith like me. Challenge them to bezel set a turquoise stone and solder it down in the place of that.
That would be
so
nice.
You know, you could have that then off center. Look at that cuff with a large turquoise off center with these tendril designs. Very gorgeous. And you know what? Maybe you step the bezel right off like I just showed you. Maybe you cover that only so much, and then you let that bezel slide optically off of that cuff. Can you imagine how stunning that would be? Now, it's gorgeous just the way it is. I would wear it as is, but imagine taking that, buying this, taking it to a silversmith, and then saying, hey, I love this turquoise stone, or I love this agate or whatever you have. Can you bezel set that and solder that down to this? And the answer would be yes. I think that would be one of the most beautiful creations to have that off center, or set the stone this way. If you want to be different, set the stone at an angle this way. See how I think, Mom? My brain just goes right to design. Yeah. And then, because someone will say, well, I don't know the person's initials. Well, you don't have to.
No.
Could you buff those off and polish them off? Sure, but I wouldn't. I would just leave them there and wear it. I have a lot of things that have very fancy monograms, and I wear them. This I don't have a comment on because I've always thought these are Mexican. Let me take a look with my loupe. Yes, Eagle SA mark number 3 on the inside. That's Mexican silver. Made to look, well, I don't want to say made to look this way or that way, but also reminiscent of Hopi design. The silver overlaid, gorgeous, gorgeous band ring. Very beautiful for everyday wear, and a stunning turquoise ring. I've always loved these, and my collection of such rings is in the now probably hundreds. I don't stop because every stone is so beautiful. The matrix in this one and the design of this would be one that I would buy. I would absolutely buy, invest that, and I can't wear it, but I wouldn't mind. I would buy it just based on the stone and the design. The construction is exceptional. I love that band, and I will tell you, anyone who's able to buy something like this nowadays is very lucky. That's not an upsell. That's full transparency, We do need to get these in larger bags. That freaks me out. Yeah, but this is great. Yeah, this is black onyx. Good call. Black onyx. And when you start to see the little chatoyance in it, it's normally obsidian. So, but this is black onyx. So, and just a learning moment for most people to know the difference between black onyx and obsidian. Yeah, beautiful. And sterling silver bezel. I like its simplicity. You would wear this.
Too. Yeah.
You would wear something like this. Can you show them your ring, please? That you,
okay.
Go ahead. No, just go ahead and go up there. Show me your ring.
In the right place?
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Look at those stones.
That was a gift from Jason.
Did I give that to you?
Yeah, for a Christmas
Can I have it back?
No.
Why? That was quick. Are you sure I can have it back?
No.
My dad's right over there, and he's laughing.
He's laughing.
Look, we didn't even open this. Are you ready for the... Are you kidding me?
I know this is going to be something.
I know.
Here
Look
we
at
go.
this. Are you kidding me? Like, how long is that going to take us?
Oh, no.
How long is that going to take us to do? Can I just flip through it real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, pendant, and this looks like, a Carolyn Pollock? Yeah. Carolyn Pollock.
Carolyn Pollock.
Yeah, Carolyn Pollock. And newer, but extraordinary craft on these. Do I love Carolyn Pollock? Most of the time, yeah. Most of the time, I love her designs. And this is one that I would say yes to. That inlay, look at that. Look how beautiful.
Oh, that's
See, I don't want to
pretty.
hold them back from you,
Yeah.
but look at that.
Yeah.
And did you see the way the bezel is done?
I like the size.
Yeah, and then look at how large that bail is. You can put those on beads. That's a gigantic bail, but
she tends to make her
look.
bails big to go on things.
I agree with you. And then these are wonderful. Look at that with that ruby on. Look at that. Sterling. My mom's already going nuts.
Oh,
where's the other? Here.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for the
Oh, this
other
one's got a
one.
little sapphire in it. So look at those for mismatched, even though they're really not mismatched. Those may have been made out of something else. Oh, there's sign on the back too. Here I go getting lost in this.
Where is the other one?
It's right here.
there you go.
Oh, look how you were like going
Love
on a goose
that.
chase. You were on a wild goose chase there for a minute. I love doing that. Maybe I should hide
Beautiful.
stuff from you more often. Am I terrible to you? Am I
No.
terrible? No. Do you remember the last time we did the video and we didn't hear anything each other said? Do you remember that?
I know. We had
You
so
almost-
much going on.
You almost pretended like you didn't hear that one. But you were like, oh yeah, now, yeah, wait, you should see her face. Yeah, you should see her face. So, and then my dad's still laughing. Look at these, how sculptural that turquoise is and the profile of those. Very much so in the style of Loloma or Loloma. Some people say Loloma, some people say Loloma. I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna say I say Charles Loloma. That's the way I say it. These are sterling and magnificent for
This
pierced
is a Jeremy
earrings.
pin.
Oh, that is a
Turtle.
Jeremy pin. It's a turtle. That's his spirit animal. Jeremy is a turtle. And then he goes crazy and he's like, "Did you call me a turtle?" It's hilarious. We get along so well though. I love antagonizing him. I love it. It's my favorite job. It's my full-time occupation. These look in the carnelian family, but no, I don't know what this is. This might take me, this might be optic glass. I see some little air pockets in there. Those are likely glass, but look at that for a door knocker style in sterling. Normally I put these in a lot, but I'm not going to because I have a feeling that someone's going to absolutely love these. And these are artist signed CRS. CRS sterling and beautiful door knockers. I'll put some earring backs on most of these. I like to use those rubber ones just because they're so lovely. I'll just keep flipping through. I'm not going to make a comment on everything, but this is just going to give you an idea as to what is going to be at the next consignment sale. These are what everyone considers snake eye turquoise, and you know how I feel about certain terms. I'm not going to go there. I've always considered them just very small cabochons. And if people want to say snake eye, I understand why.
Right,
just because they're so small, I understand that. And that's okay. To each their own. I never fully understood that term, but I love that design. Look at that craft on that, Mom. Can you imagine bezel setting all those stones? And they're bezel set, they're not glued in. Now they'd be glued in, This is a gorgeous turquoise stone. Love the mounting. That kind of, what kind of green would you consider that? I know it's a bluish green, but what would you say? What would you think? I know, because it's hard to say. It's almost mint, but it's darker than mint. I know. I'm drawing a blank.
Like some evergreens.
Why don't we just call it turquoise?
It's a U.
Why don't we call it
YEW for
a U? Oh my God, I don't even know.
It's an evergreen.
Oh, it's an evergreen. Okay, so Mom just ruined that stone. That's going to be perpetually ruined for the rest of its life. That's a U turquoise. I did not know such a thing existed. Mom, I'm so glad I have you around. I love it. Wait, I'm going to replay this one, and Jeremy's going to go, "She did it for attention." That's what he's going to say to me. She did it for attention. These are signed up inside. These are magnificent designer hoops. I've got to do a little bit of research. So thick and so big. They are signed up in here. With a little pictograph, a little picto hallmark, I should say. Very heavy, very gorgeous. Reminiscent of Cartier, Tiffany, Yerman, Lord. They're incredible. Those are fabulous. This I love as a single squash blossom. It is Artisan signed. And a lot of people ask me, yeah, this is Biguet. A lot of people, I'm not sure which one because there were several, but only signed Biguet on the back. Very large producing family. Look at that turquoise though. I love the color of that, and I love the style of this. This would be something that I would wear on a long chain and just wear it very long all by itself. I wish I could have me on camera right now. Or, again, you could, if you chose to, decide to make a ring out of it. But it's very unwearable that way. But I've been known to, make the most unwearable rings we've ever seen. But I really love the style of that. And should be revered as a pendant. Really should just be worn on a chain. The feather dangle earrings, everybody loves these because it's such a popular design. And nothing says Native American silver and turquoise than this kind of very popular articulating feather design. 2 feathers on there, sterling silver. Can you imagine making those? I think those are probably fabricated. I don't think that those are cast. A lot of these are now cast, but those look to be fabricated because there's slight variance in each one. Beautiful turquoise stones and a gorgeous size. So we'll put all that back into this. What else are you digging out?
Well,
what else do you got?
I dug this one out because it has a signature on the inside. Like
we
need
to get these in bags.
TA something E.
That pouch. Look at that, how beautiful that is. I love that. Let's zip that up. Oh, a TA, you said?
TA, and then I can't read it, and then like an E.
Are you okay for time on this, Mom? We have a lot more to go. Are you okay with it?
We gotta keep going.
Oh, we'll keep going. Oh, this is Tahi. And I don't know why I said Tane earlier, because that's Mexican. Tahi, T-A-H-E, sterling silver, and they almost illegible, but once you see that mark, you'll always know it. Very, very, very well known. Very heavy sterling silver on this. And again, would I wear that on its own? You could, absolutely, but I have a tendency to stack them. I would put that with another one. Let me see if I can get this one on. Do you think I can? It's a very small wrist size, but watch this. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Look, I can totally get it on. It's a little tight, but oops, let me squeeze squeeze it down. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I see, and I would wear that with this. I would, you know, I would pair them together. Why not? That tells a story. Yeah, I think that one's really cool. Do you like it? Mm-hmm. Isn't it cool? Mm-hmm. I know. I love that. That's why I pulled that. Yeah, I would wear it. That's a Jason cuff. I would wear that. And also notice one other thing. I don't need to lecture anyone, but I love how the design goes all the way around, and there's that little tiny gap at the end because they couldn't get that other leaf in there. That shows that that's hand stamped. That shows that that's, you know, completely hand stamped. Which a lot of people don't look at those details. They just they go, oh, you know, whatever. It's like, no, you know, look there. There wasn't enough space. You know. That's amazing. I love that craft. I love that. So, very heavy on this as well.
This one says an E and a T, but look at the color of these stones.
Mom, I am so grateful that I got a chance to sell these items. I gotta tell you.
They're just beautiful.
Sterling E and T. So, yeah, I love that. Do you know I love that movie, E.T.? I loved that movie.
You did.
I did. I was obsessed with that. Do you remember that I cried when E.T. was in the hospital? Do you remember I cried? I did. I cried for like 3 days because it was so sad. E.T. was so sick. But sterling silver E.T. And this cuff is extraterrestrial. That's exactly what this is. Look at that. And you know what I love about the stones? You know what I'm going to love? Not only the color, you know what else I love?
That they're square.
There you go. Bingo, bango. Anytime. Well, these are square. Anytime. Yeah, they're square. Like with the space in between. See, that's see what I mean? Yep. But it looked, you know, square. It looked rectangle. But look at those. And I love when you see square turquoise. Now, again, full transparency. I had a cuff like this years ago. And the sister bought the square version, and the other sister, they were like 70, they were both 78. One was 78, one was 79. One bought the round, one bought the square. And I told them I would sell their bracelets. And of course, you already know the point of the story. The round sold for $235, and the square sold for $625.
Oh my gosh.
Same everything, but square stones always. Don't ask me why. They historically have always sold higher. I think because they're slightly more unusual and more difficult to bezel set. And those are. I love the profile of this as well. That looks like a sculpture.
I like everything about
I like the spacing of those, the little rain droplets as well. Gorgeous. And look how thick the silver is. They didn't spare any expense on these. This collection is probably one of, I've seen how many hundreds of collections would you say over my life? How many hundreds? Because think about back, like, I know you're thinking. Think about that for a minute. Yeah, thousands. Yeah, I agree. And then at the auction house, how many, remember that one sale I did and there was 11,000 items? They were all jewelry. There was like 11,800 and some. Okay. And that was like in a week, And then someone says, they come on YouTube and they go, I've touched the most jewelry ever. It's like, don't say that because then someone like me comes along and I'm like, by the way, deuces, I got you beat by a mile. My dad is laughing up a storm. Mm-hmm. He thinks that's hilarious because he knows. Yeah. This one, why I love these two, I will say that I've always loved these. And please be careful when you buy these. Make sure the stones are bezel set. Independently set with a bezel, not just glued in. But that's an exceptional and gorgeous. I love this bangle, by the way. So I love that. Yeah. So this is beautiful. This is Northwest Coast Indian. Do I want to go with what tribe? Is it? I don't know if they say Tlingit. I think they say Tlingit, or they say. Give me a minute here. Not Inuit. I'm drawing a blank. It's Northwest Coast Indian. I'm drawing a blank here. Alaska. And then people, I don't know if it's okay to say Eskimo anymore. I don't know if that's okay. Some people say yes, some people say no. I never want to be offensive to the native people, but look at this bird, completely hand engraved across the surface. Northwest Coast Indian for sure. I have a very small collection of this. Again, depending on artist, let me see if I have a mark on the inside. Oh, of course we do. These are always hand inscribed, by the way. So we've got H-bird. Okay, H-bird. That's going to resonate with somebody, I can already tell. I'm going to have to do some research on this and see if I can find this artist. H-bird. This is very common, late 30s, design-wise, late 30s through the even into the 1990s, I've seen it. This may be more contemporary. The way it's engraved, though, it is hand engraved, and it's done in the, I want to say more vintage style. The wear pattern, unless it wasn't worn very much, the wear pattern just isn't there. It's very still crisp.
That's a good thing.
It is a very good thing. So condition is great. I love this. And someone else would see this and not know. They would say, well, what is this? Well, if you see that, know that you're in the driver's seat. For very important. The production of such things, I don't think was that great. I don't think it was prolifically produced. I just don't think so. So we'll have to revisit that. This one does look stabilized. It's got a very kind of matte finish and a little too even tone for my liking. And again, I'll do some research and see if this is stabilized or not. But beautiful sterling silver mounting. And I've always loved that asymmetry with the leaf and then those foliate scrolls. Look at the attention to detail of that rope twist right underneath the bezel as well. Gorgeous split shank on that. Beautifully constructed. This collection is incredible.
Yeah.
This looks like Tahi as well. This design was definitely one of theirs. Signed sterling on the one side, but that's what they're known for. This kind of very dramatic, almost multi-layer. That would be 5 bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bands of silver. That top one or the center one, very dramatic on this cuff. That it steps up over that whole profile. When you get into silver that's that well thought out, these are the kind of things that I personally look for. That's my personal taste. Someone may like something more simple, but I like that. I like the way the edges are finished, the craft of that. Stunning and gorgeous. You don't need a lecture series from me on these things, but most certainly when I see something that resonates with me, I really do need to respond. This is beautiful. Again, I'll have to test this for silver. Something says yes, something says no to me in my mind. A lot of these are not silver, even though they're marked 925. Please be careful with these bangles. This is normally alpaca, which doesn't have silver content at all. It's got nickel, and nickel is not, they'll call it nickel silver, but it has no silver content at all. Very beautiful stamping on this. The hallmark on the inside makes me think that this possibly could be sterling. I'll have to scratch test it, and I'm going to have to go very deep, not like a file through this, but I'll have to scratch it on the stone and see if it holds up. And I will have to put acid right on there at some point in an inconspicuous spot just to see if that is silver. It's very heavy, and that matters. If this was alpaca, it's like $5 to $8. If this is sterling silver, this is probably because of weight. This is like 50 to 60. And that does matter, and I want to make sure that when I represent something, that it is what I say it is. This is clearly not sterling. Yeah, this is clearly not sterling. Very beautifully done. This is nickel silver. You can kind of see that kind of grayed down surface, and don't just assume. Always test your metals. But as soon as I see that, I know that this is not sterling silver. Even if it were signed sterling, I would know that this is not. The finish is wrong, the solder seams are wrong, the craft is wrong, the stamping is incorrect, but that is also probably, that may even be a plastic stone rather than turquoise. I'll have to double check that. The little bear claw, it looks real, but something looks a little wrong with it. Let's see here. That looks real for a little bear claw. It does look real. So, yeah, that does look real. So, but everything else is looking beautiful through this collection, though. It really is.
That you don't poke yourself with those.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for looking out for me. These are sterling silver and brass. It looks like, wait a minute. Is that gold? Hold on. That might be gold. I always have to slow down. I just, it's not okay to assume. They're signed Marcel, M-A-R-C-E-L-L. They're signed Marcel. Marcel, M-A-R-C-E-L-L, Marcel, and sterling silver. But it does not have the secondary metal. Let me take a quick look. That might be gold filled. I don't think that is 14 karat. There's something about an edge here, this very tip of this, that looks like gold filled, but those sure are beautiful. Very lightweight, super dramatic. I would wear them facing the face, though. I would wear them like facing, facing your face. I wouldn't wear them like that, facing away. It's always about directional towards your face. Very beautiful sterling silver pierced back. I love those. Yeah, an artisan done. What you looking at? You're very much so. You're very much so studying
I'm really
things.
into this one here.
Look at this for elliptical. Look at that stone. I absolutely positively know that that will never fit me. And guess what? I wouldn't care. I would keep that in my collection for the rest of my life.
Jay?
You know, that one, interesting that you ask. You know, someone would say petrified wood on that. It's not petrified wood, according to me. That looks like the landscape jasper, landscape agate. To me, that's definitely, you know, that doesn't have the right striations for petrified wood. It doesn't have the right color for petrified wood. I will study this though. That to me looks much more in the jasper family on that one. Again, a gemologist, would they know more? More than likely. Does it matter on this if it's, you know, a jasper or an agate? It doesn't. It wouldn't affect the price. What affects the price is look how elliptical, dramatic, large, 1940s, 1950s vintage on this. Someone else would say 60s. Nope, not on this one. Not on that construction.
Really a beautiful
I
thing.
think this is stunning. That would be a keep for the rest of my life. That would be a hold on to it, and wouldn't matter that I could never wear it because the stone itself, the mounting's exceptional. I love
one
that.
has me really. It's got
Yeah,
a little,
this is
an
sterling.
E and F in
You know,
there.
oh yeah, okay, that's hand engraved. That's the
But look,
artist.
see
E
how
and an
this
F
edge
or
is
an
really
R.
pretty, too?
Yeah, it's very beautiful. You know, this may have contained. Yeah, that might have been where they put the watch through. See how that opens?
Yeah.
That might be where they put the watch through the front. So like it'd be a cuff, but that would be the back, and then they put the watch in, or this would be the front, and then they could tip their wrist and see the watch. I've seen these before like that, to where the watch bands sneak into this open area, because that's open here and open there. There's really no reason to have that on there, because that never had like a chain or something. That probably was a watch band, and more than likely it was on this way, on it's a gentleman's cuff. It'd be on this way, and then they would tip their wrist to see the watch.
See
you know,
the
so
time.
they'd have their watch right here, and they would just tip their wrist so they could see their watch. Very, very cool. I like the design. Sterling silver, artisan signed, and it might just be a cuff, but there's something going on here. Because, yeah, those do lift up very easy. That kind of curl on the end, there's no reason to have that. That's definitely some sort of watch band. I love the craft of this,
What
though.
are the stones?
Those are shell.
Oh, okay.
Those are shell beads, completely drilled out, all natural shell. You know, do I want to say turtle shell on this? I really don't. But those are shell beads for sure. This one almost looks horn. The yellowy brown almost looks like in the horn family. The white may be bone or yeah, no, it's not. Those aren't stone. I was gonna say maybe highlight, but no, that's bone. That's horn.
And the color.
Yeah, all natural variation too. Stunning. And then just beaded. You know, those are all beads that are beaded through. Those aren't, you know, bezel set. Those are beads that were drilled through and then finished on the edges. So those are all beads.
There's a lot of workmanship.
Yeah,
in that cuff.
that's incredible. Again, very high design. Those are stunning.
Where do you see these?
Those are stunning. Yeah, I've not seen these this style in a long time. These are very old. Yeah, these are old. These are old ones. Oh, gorgeous. They're on it's a foxtail chain. That's not tiger tail. That's a foxtail chain. That is silver mesh. So that is probably, could be sterling, but it's probably in the nickel family. But it could be a sterling foxtail chain underneath there. And when you look at these, make sure that you look and see. If it's done on tiger tail, that's okay. That's the original clasp. To me, these are always Navajo. Now, there's some people who will disagree and say that they're not. But on these specifics, these are Navajo to me. These are double stamped. So each side of the bead is stamped with hand-stamped designs. When you get into these, a lot of these are machine made. And let me get my loop and make sure. These still could be machine produced. I'm not going to make a comment yet on machine or hand produced. To me, in my artist sensitivity, seeing the seams the way they're done, and I'll show you all what to look for eventually. I'm not going to get into that. We'd be here for 45 minutes talking about bench beads versus machine-made beads versus Navajo pearls versus this versus that. We could go there. These are Mexican. These are Mexican beads right here. These are Native American. And to me, these are still Navajo. Yeah, I still go Navajo on these. And maybe not. maybe not, but definitely not Mexican. I'll say that much for sure. You know, there's a lot of people that don't do that right, and I say it's okay. There's a lot of information out there to learn, and even times when I'm unsure, I just say I'm not sure yet. I just need a moment, you know. But these are, I would say, when I classify something, you know, there's like good, better, and best. These are the better, you know. These aren't good. They are better. They're not the best. So these are the intermediate step. Very difficult to find. You know, very difficult to find, and an amazing size. Again, would I wear these? 100%. Yes. I would wear these. I would enjoy these, and I would definitely buy these. So that's a definite yes. I love the oxidation on the surface as well. Someone would say, "Oh, you need to polish those," and I would say, "Well, when you buy them, you get to do whatever you want with them.
Those are
you know,
wonderful.
but please don't put them in a liquid cleaner. That's just at a point of ridiculous at times. You know, the liquid cleaner thing just really bothers me, and I'll do a video on why. You know, I'll back up my information. These are stunning, sterling silver. These are red coral, at least in appearance. They are probably red coral, sterling silver. I love the airy design on these.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll probably sell these pairs together, you know, as one lot, because they're very much so the same buyer, but just different colored stones. So I think that is exceptional. These are Mexican, as I just covered. Very beautiful. These are not, let me make sure. No, I don't think that these are hand soldered. I think that these are produced and punched by machine. I think the holes are drilled by hand. And these are solid sterling silver. Very heavy, very weighty. And you could tell by the clasp, because someone would say, well, how did you know there's a Mexican without looking? Well, this clasp, you know, that's a very strong indicator that those are then Mexican silver, of that box style clasp. Do Native American tribes do it? I have seen it done before, but not in this style. Also, one other thing to consider when you're looking at beads like this, always look and see if that's on chain. Those are soldered paper clip chain. Those are long ovals, paper clip chain, and that's solid sterling silver. So as I move that through, you can see that these are soldered on a sterling silver paperclip chain. They're not on a cord, they're not on string, they're not on fishing line, they're not on monofilament, they're not on, cord or string. Those are on sterling silver cable. I was so distracted for a second there. There's the largest groundhog running through my mom's backyard. I don't know what, it's like a wild animal came out of a zoo. It is the largest groundhog I've ever seen in my entire life. So we've got this for a sterling silver, and to me, again, is there crossover here? There's always crossover design. Looks Navajo to me. Then when I look and I study it, and I look with my loupe, I'm glad I waited. This is Mexican silver, but it looks very Navajo in style. And the placement of the stones, the triangular shape, the blue turquoise, sterling silver. Again, would I wear this one? 100% yes. I absolutely would. I love this design. And it is signed down. Yeah, it's signed down inside the sterling silver and the Mexico mark right there. Stunning, absolutely amazing. How much more do we have to go? And then we have this little box on the floor. Yikes, we're trying. Yeah, this is a Jason. This would be a Jason keep. Yeah, that would be a Jason keep. This is exceptional. This is like as good as it gets for Native American. Absolutely exquisite. Look at the stone. Look at those giant sterling silver leaves. It is artisan signed right there. And look at the way this is constructed. Talk about a paper clip chain. Look at the size of those links. And they're huge and thick and amazing. So I love the finish on this as well. Would I wear this frequently? I'd probably wear it every day for at least, a month? And then I would say I could retire it. Yeah, this is exceptional. That I could talk about that forever. Vintage beyond vintage, and just an amazing stone, amazing craft.
But it's not in the bag.
Not in the bag, and we've got a little stone out. That's the cactus brooch, sterling silver, signed sterling, and there's a stone out. Yeah, let's keep going. We're doing really well.
Okay,
what is this?
Ooh.
I don't know, but this is like some sort of artisan thing. This looks like it's sterling. Yeah, this is quite exceptional. Look how big this is. Look how absolutely gigantic this is. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest cuff bracelets I think I've ever seen. That is amazing, amazing, amazing. That is fantastic. So very large, sterling silver, artisan done. Absolutely love it. Ooh, what do you got?
Do you see this?
Oh yeah. So it says double-sided.
Double-sided bear.
It says double-sided.
Look at the link on the necklace.
Sterling double-sided bear, signed on top of bear.
Wonderful.
Now signed on the top of the bear. That's
See if we can find
yeah. Like I said in the last video that I did, a lot of the artisans signed up on the top edge of things.
Wow.
People always look at the bail or the back. The pendant, the spinner pendant that was in the last sale, I said it was Yoyoki. And Yoyoki always signed, or Yo-Yo-Ki, always signed on the top edge of the pendants. And this is fully hallmarked right on the top of that. And I love that the consigner kind of gave me some notes and said, hey, slow down and take a quick look. And that is wonderful.
Oh.
Some people and some, like experts or whatever you call them, whatever the term is, they get so offended by someone saying, hey, I'm going to try and help you out by identifying some of these things for you. You know what? Any information is welcomed. And that's the way I've always felt about it, because that's the way I learned in my infancy of collecting. That's the way I learned. This chain is exceptional too. I love this. Very flexible. Don't ask me. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I knew it was coming. I knew she was going to ask. I don't know. I go like this. I go, I don't know. And then look at that back of that. Very, very gorgeous. Very well crafted.
Yes.
And the bear fetish, having the fetish bear is incredible. It's a fetish of power and dominance and elegance, and that heart line that kind of runs through here, but then makes a landscape with the moon and the stars. That's I'll say this much: the craft on something like this, I may not know the artist, and I may never figure the artist out. But I will say this much: at that rate, it wouldn't matter, because you can just tell that the artist transcended the materials that they were using. As a silversmith, those things speak to me. This looks like the pin I'm wearing today, even though you can't see my brooch that I'm wearing.
I think there's a little spot for a pendant.
Oh yeah, yeah. But look at those. For they say petty point or pine needle. They use a lot of terms and that's okay. But that is artisan signed right down here, and you can wear it, like my mom said, as a pendant. So we should put it on the chain that I don't know the name of. Why don't you ask me another question I don't know? Come on.
Oh, it's coming.
Come on. Oh, I know.
Now.
Yep, come on.
I don't know
Let's do it.
this.
Let's
I
do it.
don't know
Let's
this
do it.
stone.
I know. Yeah, I'm going to say like this. I'm going to go, I don't know. I'm going to go, I don't know. But these are beautiful.
this
And this
one-
might be stabilized, by the way. A lot of times when you see that even color, and you don't see a stone that's like miscolored, it always says to me, I think more than likely stabilized. And that's okay. Like, it's totally acceptable, because they'll always be that color, And a lot of people, let me back that up too. A lot of people like stabilized because I have one of these, and 3 of the stones are like green. And then someone says to me, well, were those replaced? And I go, no, this wasn't stabilized. And then the stones will sometimes turn color, and it looks like they're replaced. It's, to some people it's unsightly, but to me it's like perfection. Oh, this is charoite. This is charoite. So finally I know one of the questions my mom is asking. This is charoite. Beautiful charoite stone. Absolutely
I like the mounting.
exquisite. And that is charoite. 100%. Very good movement in that stone as well. Very, very beautiful. Sterling silver construction. Absolutely exquisite, and the most perfect of sizes. If you need a charoite cuff, Native American made, that is for you. And when you see it in the light box without the flash on it, you're going to say, that is one of the most beautiful charoite stones you've ever seen. What do we got going on?
This one's going to...
Oh, yeah, this one's
going to bother me, because it's
this
not
one's old.
black onyx. I don't know what this one is.
This old. Oh, yeah, this one's old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. See, this is purist collector style stuff. It's very old. Very early sterling silver. Native American, really great construction on this. Very small size. I love the elegance of that. You can go from that large turquoise pendant to this, and I'd say that I love them both for separate reasons. What's the stone in this one? I should quiz you.
I don't know. That's my problem.
Yeah, this definitely has a little bit of vertoidal agate going on. So it's in the agate family. It's definite hard stone. Might be petrified wood, and it may not be. But very difficult to see in this low lighting. But that to me is agate, and it looks like there is some, sort of bertoidal agate. And then those raindrops, the split shank. This is very early. This one would be circa dating on this one. This would be around late 1930 into the 1940s on that one. Very beautiful, very elegant. Again, tourist trade, but very early for tourist trade. Love it. Absolutely, positively love it. And for me to make that today, very expensive still. Wow. This one also has some sort of bertoidal going on the inside of it. So that, to me, is in the agate family. Beautifully constructed sterling silver. Love that stone. Looks like a conversation going on between the two different sides of the stone. Sorry for the lighting, sorry for the reflection, but there is that does look like bertoidal agate. Like where fire agate would start to form, and this may have been the clear next to where the fire agate would form. This would be, this is definitely agate and definitely bertoidal. There's definitely some bertoidal going on inside the stone for sure. Absolutely, and then sterling silver, looks like it might have an artist signature. Fabulous 3-row cuff, very thick metal. The date on this one, these are kind of hard to date. Could be as early as the 1940s, more than likely into the 1950s on this one. 1950s, 1960s. Pre-1970, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, this is interesting. Not sure what to say. It looks more costume than silver, but I will definitely do some research. I'm not liking a couple of the things on the solder seam, but I'll definitely take a look at this much, much closer. Could be very important, could be costume. This one is Mexican and very cool. We see these a lot, but that design is very interesting with the sombrero and the poncho. Sterling silver, pin pendant, inlaid abalone. Gorgeous construction. Absolutely stunning. Do we have the other half to this? I wonder. Oh no. I wonder if we have the other half to this. We'll look for this. We'll set this. This is a watch band. Turquoise and white coral. We'll set that aside. We'll leave that right there. We need the other half of that.
Delicate.
Let's see. Oh, this is abalone and turquoise. What an unusual pairing in that. And I would say that this is replaced, but no, this bezel looks. Here's my loop.
So that it's
See,
meant to be that way?
that looks original to me. I would say, normally if I saw that, I'd say that's a restoration. No, I think that's been there forever. I don't see any evidence that the bezel has been rocked over through its life. And I would know. I would know. No, that looks like mother of pearl and turquoise. Look at that turquoise, though. Look at that electric robin's egg blue and that very strong matrix of that brownish tan. And I think you should ask me what mine that's from. Why are you looking at me like that? Why? Yeah, because I don't know. And then I'd say I'd go like this. I'm supposed to be the expert, and I'd go like this. I'd go, I don't know. Why do you think it's so funny? Yeah, because you always ask the question.
Because I was almost going to say.
Yeah. This is the way it goes.
I get him in trouble.
Yeah, it's true. But I have an idea as to the stone on that. But I'm not sure exactly what mine on that, And it does matter sometimes, These are little pre-Columbian, I know you're hilarious. These are little pre-Columbian style earrings. I'll have to study these closer. Are these like an MMA, replica? More than likely, yes. But those are like pre-Columbian style. And they look to be sterling, so I'll have to look at those.
I'm curious to find out what the initial is.
Well, and she's got something
on the back. Looks like an E and an R. Yeah, she's got large sterling cuff
signed. Well, I would have to do some research. So a B and an R conjoined, backwards B and an R conjoined. And then look at that, how simple. For me personally, I guess, you look at all these things and you would say, what would you gravitate towards? It would be this one.
Yeah,
I would,
the larger the better.
Well, I think too, craft and design, that's just an amazing, simple, gorgeous, well-formed, well thought out sterling cuff. Very large, very wearable. I love the surface, and that's, when people say, why don't you polish your silver? Well, that's why. People would say, well, that's dirty. And I would say, it's perfection is what that is. I love the fact that, I'll have to look up that artist and see if I can find it. I should know it, but I don't. My brain is kind of off right now. These are some sort of turquoise and sterling silver. Very unusual design.
Your brain is overwhelmed with
this. It was. I mean, there's certain things I expect. And then, I'll be honest, and I'll say this too because I think this is true. When I do the appraisal fairs at the library, I see, 100, 120 items, and I have to know all of them. I have to know glass, I have to know pottery, I have to know postcards, I have to know bronzes, I have to know lamps, I have to know decorative arts, I have to know Roseville, Rookwood, Weller, depression glass, sterling silver flatware patterns, prints, the difference between a print and a painting, the age of a picture frame, you know, tools, primitives. You know, you can't put something in front of me at an appraisal fair and me go, I don't know, because I know. I don't Google Lens anything. I don't AI anything. I never will. I never have. And someday Google and AI is going to have to employ me to teach them. Interestingly enough, in my years of doing it, there was only one item out of, I'm going to say, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of items and thousands of owners. And there was one that I still never figured out. You know, and I focus on that one because it's the one that encourages me every day to do further research, to know what I'm selling, to know what I'm doing, to know what I'm dealing with, you know, and that's just honing your skill. Enough of a lecture on that. TH115 Mexico. So this is after, I believe, 1978 or so, I think, or 1980. I forget when the cutoff was. Within 2 years, no one's going to really care. But that is stabilized turquoise inlay and a hinged Mexican sterling silver bangle. Beautiful, beautiful design. You know, very, very lovely. And we sold one, me and Jeremy sold one similar to that in our first sale. We did very well with it. A very popular design. This one signed sterling. We'll get into that one, see if that's designer. Very cool, very high style. Be very careful. Be very careful. Sometimes when something is this simple, you know, this cup could be, you know, this cup could be $125. This cup could be $4,000, you know. So just slow down and take your time when you're doing research on hallmarks. It's very important. And I almost made a very big mistake with my Laloma earrings. Thanks for getting in there. Go ahead. Go ahead, buddy. And then just, yeah, grab a little handful and put it right here, and we'll continue to go. It's an hour in, and you know what? If the video's 2 hours, so be it, you know.
Doesn't matter.
I do love this, though. I do love this. I think that is exceptional. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, we don't have that much more to go.
No.
No. Not at all. I mean, we do and we don't.
I have to get you some beads.
Okay. Mexican again. Yeah, Mexican and likely sterling. I have to double check. Sometimes these are silver plated. But that has the finish of sterling. Let me see if we've got any sort of mark on the clasp at all. Let's see here. Yeah, these are sterling. And the clasp wasn't replaced, I can tell. I took a close look at the solder seams up here. Oxidized as if they're sterling. I love these. I really, really, truly think those are awesome. So, and I want to thank the consignor again for this second box and the second chance one. Yeah. I didn't even complete the first chance, you know, yet. You know, as of this. Navajo turquoise, needlepoint. Yeah, needlepoint signed MB. That, yeah, this is great. Really nice, really beautifully done. Artist signed on the inside. She is correct, way done in there. Beautiful construction, very classy. When you think of Native American jewelry, this is what you think of. You know, that's like the quintessential. You know, if you want a turquoise cuff and kind of that, you know, multi-row. And what I love about this is pear shape, round, this row of kind of raised arcs, and then another row of pear shape, and then these medallions on the side that flank the whole thing. Very well thought out, you know, very well constructed, and beautiful sterling silver. So I love that. We're doing really well, Mama.
Yeah.
Let's cruise, baby. Let's cruise. You know what? People said they love that I called you Mama. Do you remember when I started that? It was like, I don't even remember.
I think he's always done it.
Yeah, I think I have. Do you remember when I was sick and I used to go, Mom, come here? Do you remember? It would be like 1 a.m. Do you remember my earaches?
Earaches.
I had earaches all the time.
Ear infections all the time.
Yeah. Why am I so nuts? What would you say? What would you tell people? Why am I so crazy? What, you know?
Ear infections?
From my ear infections? I know. She's already laughing. So I know. Mom, you're the best. But do you remember? And then I'd be in bed and I'd go, Mom, come here. I would sing it. Why would I sing it?
And I would stay in that room for hours.
I know. You laid with me in bed so many nights
trying
because,
to get him back to sleep.
Oh, those earaches are so painful sometimes. Yeah. And do you remember the strep throat every other week? I had strep throat.
Month, every
I had
2
strep
months.
throat the most. Why? Because I was dirty. I was a dirty kid. Well, I was a dirty child. I played in the dirt. I didn't wash my hands ever, I don't think.
No, you played in the water all the time outside.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't have to tell them stories about how bad I was. You know? Oh, do you want to talk
wonder
about
why
that one
my
time?
water bill
Wait,
was
do you want
so
to talk
high?
about that one
I was
time?
outside playing with the water.
Do you remember the last, these are Mexican. Do you remember the last time in the video when I was like, do you remember that one time when you were like, and then you talked about 12 different times, and then I was so embarrassed. This is not, I was never embarrassed. 925 Mexican. Do you ever remember me being embarrassed in my whole entire life? Ever?
I don't think so.
No, it wouldn't happen. No. These are sterling silver, and look how cool these are. I love this. You know, does that look like the Tiffany version? It most certainly does.
Wonderful.
It most certainly does. Look at the safety on that. That says quality. This says, hello, I have money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Hello, I have money, but I'm sophisticated. You know what I'm saying? Those are absolutely beautiful. I love the weight of these.
Are they Mexican?
Yeah, they're Mexican. Okay. Yeah, I love them.
You know how I know?
Oh, why?
This clasp.
Oh, the clasp. You know what? She just had a learning moment. And you've been around me for how many years and you just learned? Yeah. You just learned that? Why do you think it's so funny? Do you know what? So were you ever really surprised with me when I was a kid and I would go somewhere and I'd be like, I would know, you know? Were you ever surprised? Like, really? Do you want to tell them any other story? Look at this little Picto Hallmark right there. I'm not going
to share anymore.
And sterling. Why not? Oh, you're bashful.
I'm going to get you in trouble.
No, well, you might. You never know. Look at the Greek key design on this. Yeah, this is a stunner. The very small wrist size, though, which is good.
He's a little fish.
Do you think we have something for everyone in this sale?
I'd like to know, can women wear bolo ties?
Absolutely. You know what I don't like about jewelry? I'm glad you brought that up. You know what I don't like? You know what I find out to be one of the most annoying things about jewelry?
I don't know.
That's for a man. That's for a woman.
Oh,
that's for a man. That's for a woman. Don't do that. You're allowed to wear whatever the hell you want.
Look at this piece.
Malachite and sterling.
But look at the tassels.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. I know what you asked me.
Here we go.
I know what you're thinking. These are those articulating Mexican fish. Sterling silver, French hooks. Everybody loves them. How can you not? Very popular design. Very late 80s on those. Very late 80s. Look how small this bag is. Like, how in the world am I going to put a Post-it note on that bag?
No, we're
For
gonna,
the sale. I know we're going to have to move these over.
Yeah,
we're going to have to. Look, can you imagine me putting a Post-it note on this? I'm almost tempted to leave it in there and tell Jeremy, hey, Jeremy, can you put a Post-it note on this? Like, for the winter? Like, can you put a Post-it note on that? And he'd be like,
Poor Jeremy.
But I have to tell you, the owner did me a magnificent service keeping these things very in order. And I appreciate you very much. Trust me, I very much so appreciate it. Have I ever had a consignor that was a real problem? Can you think of one ever in the 29 years? Not estate sales, because the one we had only one estate sale, but consignment never. And Mom, do you know why that is? Because I would pick the people. Remember my theory? Do you remember what I'd say? And I'm allowed to say it. No, I'm allowed to say it. No, because it's okay that if someone picked me, I didn't have to pick them. That's not unkind. You know what I'm saying? It's not unkind. It's like if someone picked me, it didn't mean I had to pick them, you know? But, you know, there was only one. And that was just an estate sale, you know? But wait, 116 people and only one doesn't talk to me? That's pretty good odds.
Pretty good.
Pretty good odds, you know? Wait, let's think of this way. Why are you distracted? Think of it this way.
Because look at the size of this.
Think of it this way. Line up 116 people. I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question. Rhetorical, so don't answer it. Wait, you're distracted.
Go ahead.
So think about this. You don't have to answer it. Rhetorical question. This is for everyone. Line up 100 people and tell me how many of 100 you're instantly not going to really see eye to eye with. You don't have to answer that. But just think. There has to be, like, you line up 100 people and you have to say to yourselves, how many of those people would be your best friend? Maybe not even any.
Maybe not any.
See what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Because in your lifetime, you have very few that are real close to you. Like really close to you.
Right, like true best friends, like loyal best friend. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have very many from high school. I just have Tori, Jenny, and Karen. That's all I had left, really. Who else did I have that I really talked to?
That's pretty good.
Well, I know that was good odds from high school.
That's good odds.
Yeah, this is exceptional. This I'd love to talk about. Rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite, and it's very dark in real life. But I think I'm allowed to say that. I think that's a learning moment about life as well, is you don't have to get along with every single person you ever meet, nor do you have to work for those people. I'm sorry to say it that way, but you don't. If someone picks you and you don't pick them back, it's okay to say, we don't have to do this.
We just don't have the right chemistry.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but I think it's okay to say, and I think that's, pretty logical thinking. But I will say this much. All I can say is I'm glad this lady loves me because I love her back, because look at this stuff. I go completely crazy. What an honor. What an absolute honor and a privilege. And I'm so glad that I talked to her on the phone, and it was instantaneous love. That's all I can say. and I hope she feels the same. This is E.M. Lincoln, and I thought it was. So this is signed, and I did know the design, but I couldn't come up with the name right away. But E.M. Lincoln, definitely known design, and a gorgeous stone. This speaks volumes of, again, craft design. And when you look at this, you say, that is Native American. Do I think Navajo? I think so. I think E.M. Lincoln is a Navajo artist, at least from this tiny little brain that I have rolling around in my head sometimes. And when I mentioned earlier, learning moment again, when I mentioned earlier the onyx that my mom showed, these are obsidian. And the reason for that is you can see that right there, that little wah, 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 wah. See the little glow that you're seeing? Look, as I move them, you see that glow? That's obsidian. So Mom, did you see? I'll show you. See the glow?
Yes,
See the
it's
little
different.
glow? Like a moonstone, but not really. That is obsidian, and these are sterling silver. Very much so Mexican on those. And then this looks like Carolyn Pollock. Maybe? Is it signed? This looks like a Carolyn Pollock. I think the only reason why I knew is because I had this before.
Her jewelry is expensive.
Oh, look,
Jay.
925. And isn't it Rialos? Don't they call the line like Rialos or something like that?
Not sure.
See, I don't know. But this is Carolyn Pollock, and it's an enhancer, and it's sterling silver. I had this on brass beads, and I sold mine for $300. And it's signed up on the inside of that veil that opens as an enhancer. But that's Carolyn Pollock. And I think it's called Rialos. But see, I don't do contemporary very often, so, but I do push myself to stay current on what's happening, in the world of jewelry. Look at the pile of stuff that we've done. Look how much stuff we've done.
Put in case.
This is exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. Is this in the style of Dishta? The answer is yes. If you look up Dishta, this is in the style of, is it Dishta? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure, but that's in the style of Dishta. And what I've known to be anyway. And I've had very many pieces that were fully hallmarked, but that is reminiscent.
Is that more difficult to make because
very.
of how it's opened?
Yeah, very, very difficult to set those stones and to finish it that way. Sterling silver and turquoise, but very much so in the reminiscent of Dishta. Let's see what it says. Vintage silver. Okay, she didn't put Dishta on that, but yeah, that's what I would, for an attribution. Again, another shadow box. See how that's like a raised and shadow box form that then is raised and the turquoise set done in. Why this is difficult is, imagine creating this in the hollow form, and then imagine getting a tool in there to bezel set that turquoise. It's a challenge, Can I do it? Yeah, but I've been trained as a metalsmith for, I was trained for 7 years, and I've been a metalsmith for 24 years now. 26 years now. But yeah, I could do that. I could technically do that, but it's not for a beginner silversmith. That's a much more established hand. And that is a great size for a shadow box. I would guess that one to be late 50s because of the secondary stamping. Could it be 40s? It could be. Would I sign off on it as 40s? No, I would not. If it came across my desk at an auction house, I'd have to be very careful with my information. This stone has me completely confused because it looks like dinosaur bone, fossilized dinosaur bone, but I don't think that it is. There is a very, very faint... looks like Masai, I think. I'll have to look that up, but it looks like... yeah, that might be, but it's very worn away. It's very light. Another person would probably miss that because it's so light. Very, very. It looks like just a tool mark, but that's a hallmark. Front view and beautiful stamping on the sides of this as well. What do we have going on here? What is that? Oh, secondary hallmark, but it looks like a design. It's not. That's a secondary hallmark as well. That means something. I have to look that up. Look how unusual this stone is. And, Jamal just probably going to say, I know exactly what stone that is. I don't. And I see a lot of stones at the international gem shows. And me and my friend Jen, that's on here, we talk about stones an awful lot. So I'll probably send her a quick picture and say, girlfriend and sister, could you help me out on this? Because this, I don't want to sell it before I know. And, I very well may not be able to figure that out even before I sell it. But I'm going to do a whole lot of research on that. And I'm going to try my best. Very... in construction, very much so, fossilized dinosaur bone, but completely the wrong color. The way that is with those little tiny marks, very much so reminiscent of dinosaur bone that's been fossilized, but it's simply not the right color. So I'm not going to say that because it's not apples to apples. And if you don't know, don't say it. These are clearly stabilized, and these might be more acrylic than stone. These might be, yeah, these, yeah. And someone might say, oh, they're Sleeping Beauty and this or that. I don't, I'm not going to say that. I would be uncomfortable to say that. These are, they don't sound right to me either. The polish doesn't look right either. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some further research, but look at that design of this ring. And it doesn't matter what the stones are, because look at that. Mom, would you wear this? Would you wear that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, this exceptional craft. I loved that mounting and split shank. You know, we've taken a lot of time tonight to go through
we
this.
need to.
I know. I'm glad. An hour and 14 minutes in, and I hope everyone's still here because this is going to be the official preview for this next sale. And you know, Mom, we might have to divide this sale into 2 sales, you know, and if we do, we do.
That's okay.
But I have to do what's right for my consignor. I love this because of, again, the combination of a natural turquoise and a natural red coral. So, Mom, you know what I always said about these? Then you don't have to buy,
really
you know what I mean? You don't have to buy a coral one and a turquoise one. You have them both in one. Yeah. So, and I've always loved that leaf and tendril. Do you remember the ring I used to wear in high school? The one that had the red turquoise, or the red coral and the blue turquoise. But do you remember that it had them facing each other? And do you remember it had a little scroll in the middle? Yeah, I sold that ring years ago. No, I sold it years ago, and I was devastated that I sold that. Do you remember that guy Larry? That big guy Larry? He was like great big dark hair, mustache, glasses. I bought the ring from him. He did like Native American stuff at all the shows. Love these because I love the sound. Listen. What is that thing? When a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Isn't that the way they said it in the movie?
That's right.
Say it with me. When a
bell rings,
come on.
the angel gets its wings.
Why do you think that's funny? Wait.
Just that you're making me do this
wait until Jeremy sees this video. Yeah, it was all fun and games until Mary got carried away. You know what? I hope that people are laughing because you come on here so serious, like. You know, like you're.
Well, because most of the time I am very serious.
I know, but I love having fun with you. I love making you go crazy. Did I drive you nuts when I was little? Let's go to some more stories. Did I look at your face? Did I drive you crazy when I was little?
This needs a repair. You might.
Wait, you didn't hear my question.
Go ahead.
Did I drive you nuts when I was little? You should see your face, everybody. I wish the camera was up.
Oh gosh, boy, I'll tell you some of the things. I'm just trying to think.
We don't have to tell any bad stories about me.
No, we're
not. No, okay, come on, do it.
No, I'm not gonna tell any bad stories. Ooh.
Oh, come on, do it.
No stories. Keep going.
Look, did you see this? Mexican, and these match the bracelets, by the way. And they're screwbacks, and they match the bracelets. These are harder to find, you know?
Yeah.
These are harder to find, just so everybody knows. Sterling silver Mexican, late 40s on these. And then why were these out? Oh, I remember. We got to put them in a bigger bag. Look at our pile of stuff. Look how ready you are for me. I'm doddeling. Okay.
No, these are all in one bag.
But I'm dawdling. Now, how do I get this open? Oh, here. There we go. So you go like this.
I think that...
Did
it need a repair?
Oh,
One's
it does. It does.
Is that repairable?
Yeah, I need to solder that. But see where the metal broke off? So yeah, I could solder that.
You could.
You know what? I can bring that in my studio and solder that. But see where the metal broke off? That's that's okay. All right. Well, we'll deal with it. That's pre-Columbian in style. So okay, let's tell a story.
Let's see.
Tell a story.
Okay.
You know you want to. You act so like.
I think he was like in 4th grade. And I decided he needed to do something for the summer. Don't ask me why. He needed to go somewhere for the summer. So I found this class for him. It was an artist class that he could go only once a week. I think it was a 6-week program. What he hated about it the most is there was no air conditioning. It was 90+ degrees, and I'm dropping him off. You know, here's some bottled water, kid. But he really you said you didn't like it.
But I think I did. Didn't I make wind chimes there?
I still have them.
Do you really? You know how much those are going to be worth when I'm famous? You know how much you should see your face. You know I hate the word famous.
$9.99.
What? Well, you know, but okay. Do you still have?
I have them.
What else do you have of mine that I made when I was little?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my! Look at this.
I have.
So I wish we didn't show this on camera because look, I want that. It fits me.
So because I figured I thought he was going the artistic way, so that's why I sent him. I took him to school.
Look at this one, Mom. Do you think I would wear that?
So he went to college in 4th grade.
What do you mean? Oh, I did go to college in
It was on
Portugal.
a
Wasn't it
college
Ursuline?
campus.
Wasn't
Yeah,
it
it was a
Ursuline?
college campus.
Yeah, it was Ursuline. I love this ring, by the way.
Why do you
Oh,
say
I know.
this
I'm
one?
overwhelmed by goodness. You can put this back in there for me, please. I'm getting overwhelmed. What is this one? Is this Sagen? Maybe? No? Maybe? I have to put my ring back on. Is this Sagen? This is probably Sagen. It looks like it is. I love this, by the way.
No more
Or
stories.
Bali. No, come on. More.
No,
Okay, let's do some more. No, let's think about something else. Oh, do you want to tell them about when I was in the drumming lessons? Do you want to tell them about that one?
I don't know.
No, please. Will you please tell them? See, if we were live, people would be like, please tell us the story, Mary. That's what they would say. Come on, Mary.
Well,
if Jeremy was here, you would tell Jeremy the story. Okay, just start from the start. Start from the beginning.
So, he took drum lessons, right? So I'm taking him every week for his lesson. And the teacher said, I don't know what's going on. He's just not improving. He's not progressing. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. I said, oh, okay, And I hear him. He's in there practicing every day for half an hour. I'm thinking, why is he not doing more? Why is he not doing more? Well, the bedroom door was always closed so that we wouldn't hear it throughout the whole house, right? So he's in there and he's working, and then all of a sudden, I open the door. He had tape recorded a lesson, and he was playing the tape recorder and doing his artwork.
Did you see how happy my face was during that story? Did you see that I was laughing for a moment ago?
Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
it's true. It's a true
my
story.
gosh,
It's a true story. But you
So
paid all
then
that money for drum lessons.
that money
And
for
every
drum
week I
lessons.
went, he would teach me something else. Mr. Bobek, right? Yeah, Mr. Bobek. Yeah, Mr. Bobek. He was a very nice man, but he was very frustrated with me, and he would say, "Did you practice?" And I would say, "Yes."
Yeah.
And then he would call her in, and he'd go, "He's not getting any better." And I said, I would be like, I'm trying.
He's not doing anything.
No, yeah, I'm trying.
Nothing
And then,
different.
so I came home
no.
and I had tape recorded me drumming on the practice pad. Boom, ba-da, boom, 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 ba-da, boom, 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 ba-da, boom, 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 boom. No problem.
Sounds good.
And I would just, I recorded it on I had like an alarm clock. Do you remember that red letter alarm or red number alarm clock?
Oh,
It was like it was like neon. I had a radio on it. Anyways, I would record it on there, and then I would just I'm like, well, hell, I could just replay that. So for weeks on end, how many weeks do you think? Was it like a month? I don't know. It was like a long time. And so I would sit so she would okay, close your door because I don't want to hear it through the whole house. So I'd close the door and then I would play. I would hit the play and it'd be like dun 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 dun. It was really good. It was a really good recording. But I played it for like months, and then I'll never forget. I was across the room. And you remember my desk lamp that I used to melt crayons on?
Oh, yeah.
You remember I used to melt crayons on this desk lamp because it gets 900 degrees. And so I would melt crayons on it and go on paper, and then I would do drawings, Anyways, she walked in and I was startled because I was the thing's playing, it's dun 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 dun, and I was I looked at her oh no. You remember Ralphie and the Christmas Story, the oh fudge moment? The oh fudge. Except it wasn't fudge. I looked at her oh my Lord. She was beside herself mad.
So I said, well, I think we're going to give up on the lessons.
Yeah,
I
think
well, you did take it for at least maybe 2 years.
I think so. Oh, this back is a little wonky. I need to fix this. Oh, Mama, I think I could fix this. But you know what's going to happen? Oh, no. If I fix this is going to break off. Look. See if I move that up. Yeah, these may not be able.
Fixable?
I don't know. That if I move that up, I might break this whole earring back off. These are electroformed sterling silver. You can see that earring back is broken. See how it's, there's no spring action. It's broken. But these are sterling and electroformed. So those are wax earrings with silver sterling over them from Israel. Those are always Israeli. Do we have any more in the... We cleared the box.
Well, no, but look at the table.
No, I know. It's okay. We'll get to it. Oh, let's do these. What are these? Please put in case.
I think she just means to put them back in there,
Okay, please put in case. Look at those. Those look like J. King in a way. They're more contemporary. Sterling. And then those are in the... Those look like little moonstone.
Turquoise, what are the other
Tiger eye
beads?
and maybe honey calcite.
Okay.
Tiger eye and possibly honey calcite.
There's something different here.
This is tiger eye. Oh, That one. Oh, that's that.
Jasper.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is a. Yeah, that looks like that desert jasper. But these look like calcite. This is rhodochrosite. This one. This is tiger eye, I think. No, wait a minute. Yeah, that's tiger eye. Looks like maramamba though. It looks like maramamba because that the grain of it is haphazard. You know, when you look at tiger eye, it's normally striated. The grain of this one is haphazard. That's very interesting.
What's it done on?
These, you know, I don't think these are turquoise. I'm gonna upset a lot of people. I don't think these are turquoise.
Is it
this
just
looks
done,
like
it's not like on a wire, Jay.
it's on a wire. It's on cable,
Is
steel
it?
cable. It's on
But
steel
here in
cable.
between the beads does
Yeah,
not
it's on-
look like
Well, that's
cable.
because it's plastic covered.
Oh.
That's because. Let me look. Good question. No, that is that's some sort of steel cable.
Okay.
That's got a plastic covering over it. It's marked China on this bead right here. So it's marked China on that bead. Let's see what this other bead is signed. These look like J. King. Sterling on the clasp.
I bet they are.
They look like J. King. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and these, you know, someone else would sign off and say turquoise, and I'm on the fence. I don't like the matrix. I don't like the tone. I don't like the finish. I don't like the matte finish. I don't like the fugitive color here, meaning to me they were dyed and then now faded, especially here. Very interesting construction. Extremely heavy.
Oh,
So
very.
yeah, so if you don't like heavy, these are not for you. But there's a lot of my customers that love big and bold because of what I wear. But they're a little too pale. Yeah, this looks much more howlite. You know, that definitely reads as howlite to me for sure. Dyed, and it looks as though maybe some of the dye used to be much darker. Let's look on the edge of the beads. Sometimes the edge of the beads will be extremely dark on the inside. Yeah, those are beautiful though. Wow, those are huge.
It's a statement piece.
Yeah,
you know?
those are huge. Absolutely gigantic. I do love those though. You know, those are very cool.
Another nice one with the two colors.
Yes, classic. Red coral. You know, Jeremy would say that's hot dog coral. You remember that whole thing?
Gosh.
When he said that one ring had hot dog coral, and I said, "What in the world did you just say to me?" And then he would laugh.
It was shaped like a hot dog.
I know he would laugh, you know, but he would say that. Look, that's a hot dog coral right there. I would just, I don't know what I would do with myself. I laughed so hard after that one, though. I mean, he makes me laugh. I don't think there's been a day in 9 years I haven't laughed. I don't think there has been. I mean, it's constant shenanigans. This one looks like, I don't want to say, you know, a lot of these are from, a lot of these are Colombian, but this one, well, stylistically, except for the headpiece, with a little papoose in the pot, that looks Colombian. Plus, it's 970 silver, signed Leon. On the back of it, 970. I think it said 970. I'm tired. My brain's starting to shut off.
Well,
but
we're
it
doing
is.
good. We're doing good.
Well, and plus, it did get very dark out very quick.
Oh yeah.
You know. So, and thank you for helping me do this, buddy. I so appreciate
This is
it.
fun.
Look at this one. Very modern. Very clean lines and very modern. And I love station bracelets. That infinity symbol has always been a favorite of mine. Kind of like I always say, like love goes on forever, or life lasts forever. We could say that as well. Life lasts forever. I like that for a message on this video. Eternity, you know, that spans before us and continues after we're gone as well. This is very directional and sterling silver, and these are always to me Mexican, so maybe this one is signed. My belly's grumbling. Yeah, Mexico, right here.
hungry.
Well, you know what? I need a cup of coffee, I think. Are you going to have a
Pretty
cup of
soon.
coffee
Yeah,
with me?
I'll have, yeah.
Would you really? But then you're going to be up until like 4:30 in the morning. And then
That's okay.
Are you sure? Mm-hmm. This one's got to be sterling. And I get a very good feeling about this. You know, intuition, can I say that? That intuition has always been my best friend as well?
Yeah.
That intuition
Yeah,
has
'cause
always...
You have that.
This is sterling, for sure. Some other people would say no. I say yes, and I will test it. But reposade and chased in this kind of bended cobblestone brick wall.
It's really nice. It's
Very,
different.
very cool. Very abstract. and something that I would wear.
2
I like
inches
that it
or
looks
so,
like,
like
yeah,
2
2 inches. I think it looks like foil, you know what I mean, like crumpled foil, and then you unfolded it. I will check that for sterling though, because boy, that sure looks sterling to me. Let's see here. Someone else would say no. I say yes. Like they would look at the finish and go, nope, that's not silver, and I would fight for it and say, I think you're wrong, and then I'd have to prove my case. I think, yeah, I see it right now. There is a very faint sterling silver hallmark right down in here. Now I see it, but I will test this. You don't always trust a mark. I will tell you that right now. I see a lot of sterling silver, and there had been times at the different auction houses I've worked at, because let's be clear and transparent on that. I've now worked for 4 different auction houses, and the things that would come across my desk would be just like this, and times 10,000, and they would say, do it. And I would say, no problem, I got it. Wouldn't, do much with checking things online. It all came from my tiny little brain, which never really led me astray. This is magnificent in construction. This is early. This would be late 30s into the 40s. There is a fissure crack through this stone. Me personally, I always love to see turquoise cracked, because it means that it took negativity from someone that was coming towards the wearer, and this deflected the negativity. So when you see a cracked stone, the Native American culture was smart enough to know that stone absorbed a negative blow, absorbed negative energy, and protected the wearer from negativity. And you could tell by my hand gestures just there, that is truthful. And this stone did exactly that. And that is a very old crack, because there is oxidation down in there. To me, that tells a story that makes sense. And I find it to be extremely beautiful. Do I think that affects the value in a negative way? For those who love perfection in their life, sure. But I don't expect perfection in my life. So to me, that keeps the value right where it should be. But I love this very, very much. And I know there's people that feel the same way about it. There's both sides. Uh-oh, there goes Mama. She's starting to cough. Uh-oh. There goes Mama. She's starting a coughing fit. If Jeremy is here, he'd be like, what are you doing, Mary? Let's see here. This one, she'll be right back, everybody. I would pause it, but she'll be right back. Look at this for like that pierced out design. Again, very interesting. Very, very interesting in both directions. Beautiful stamp work, sterling silver, signed on the inside. Clearly signed on the inside, and absolutely gorgeous. I love this cuff. Very beautiful. And we only have a few more things. Hey, Mom, can I please tell him the story about that one time when we were at the calling hours? Can I please tell him just real quick? Just because Jeremy would love to hear this story. Can I tell him real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, so me and my mom went to a funeral, and it was for a client that I had worked for the daughter. And, my friend Kelly was there, and she was seated next to me, and everything was fine. Everything was great. My mom's sitting next to me to my right, and basically they were saying, like, does anyone want to say anything? Like, here's what we can say about him. And he was a doctor, and he was very well loved. And they said,
I don't know if this was part of the...
It's okay. We'll get to that in a second. So anyway, so they said, basically, does anyone want to say anything about, well, I can't say his name, about doctor, and no one said anything. And then I could see her out of the corner of my eye, and she's starting to, like cough. And I was like, I pointed towards the door, like, you should probably go, you should probably, because I've been around this for 50 years, and I said, you should probably go. And so she's like, nope, like she put her hand up like, nope, I'm good. And she put her finger up to her mouth, and she kept going, and now Kelly's looking at me like, is your mom okay? And so the guy's like, did anyone have anything to say? And he's kind of looking at her because she's like, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, hey, there's the door. Do you remember?
And we were in the second row.
Yeah, second row. And I go, hey, I go like this. I go like this. I go like this. And I go, and I don't snap at anyone. I go like that. And I go like this. And so she goes, ha, 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 ha. So everyone's looking like, is she going to say anything? No, she's just coughing, coughing. So I pointed, so she goes like a beeline. I've never seen her move this fast. She goes like a beeline. She opens the door, and I swear, because everyone's watching the Exodus, and she gets out there, and she goes, she's all the way out there, and she goes, ha, 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 out in the parking lot. You should see her face. It sounded like a dying Canadian goose. I don't know. I can't even tell you the noise. And so Kelly looks at me all concerned. Remember? She looks at me all concerned, and I go, I look at her, I go, this is normal. I go, this is normal. I go, this is totally normal. Like, I knew she was going to be fine. Do you remember that noise, though?
Well, Kelly thought you should go outside, like I was going to, like I was choking to death.
Yeah, I did. And I just looked at her like, oh, no, this happens all the time. You know, I said, no, this happens all the time. This is part of what she does. You know, and then Jeremy, I told Jeremy the story. Did he not laugh for 4 days?
Oh, I know.
He laughed for 4 days. And then from then forward, we were laughing.
Yeah.
We laughed so hard, though, and I even said to you, I said, well, that was one way to say goodbye or farewell. I mean, it was unbelievable, though. Oh. It was one of the funniest things, I think. Thank you for letting me tell that story.
And there was hundreds of people in this
It was hundreds of people. It was the funniest thing, and I just didn't even react. This is Chinese turquoise on this one, and I can tell for fair certainty this is Chinese turquoise. And the only reason why is I can say is I used to deal in Chinese turquoise, import trade from China, and that is Chinese turquoise. No, these are American on these, and this is American. So yeah, these are all American turquoise on this. And I'm sorry that I went by so quick, but yeah, and that's kind of a marriage of a necklace. Like you can see that,
nice.
like, oops, let me go ahead and put that in. But this is kind of like a marriage. Oops, this is kind of like a marriage. That's okay. This is kind of like a marriage. This kind of has like half is one thing, half is another thing, but they put the two together to make a longer necklace. Very pretty, though. Very, very pretty, very beautiful. And I like the color saturation on those stones. Yeah, and so there you go. Absolutely gorgeous. On to, these are apparently sterling. I don't know what they went to. Probably pendants on a necklace. Like I hold them up to myself. They're probably pendants on a necklace, maybe with a central disc in the center, and these are on the opposing sides. So those are, they appear to be sterling. I don't know for sure. Solder seems to say silver. Yeah, solder seems to say silver. Look at the stamping on there, though. Those are beautiful. Kind of a concho style. 3 layers. I do love those. Those are beautiful. Simple cuff bracelet, sterling. We're almost done, everybody. An hour and a half in, and we're almost done. And thank you so much, Mom, for getting through this. And this was a great, I will say this much. I feel like this was a great preview. I had a lot of fun with you today. And, you know, I want to have fun with you when we come on. You know, what's in the red bag? What do you all... I don't know.
It has your name on it.
Oh, so there's something with my name on it. Just, we'll leave that.
Leaving it alone.
We'll leave that aside. Oh, thank you. I don't know what that is, but I thank you so much for your lovely gesture.
This is wonderful.
This is incredible, and I see why you love it. This is malachite and sterling. And look at the design of those leaves. You know, I've always said the sensitivity to Native American jewelry, there's something so beautiful about it. And you love these, those finials. These tiny little finials down here mimic the whole design up here. And thank you for pointing that out, Mama. Let's straighten this one out a little bit. So look at those finials. She has a very valid point. Those finials match that top design exactly. So look at that together. Are you kidding me? Look how gorgeous. And the stones match, and the leaves and the flower blossoms match. That is exceptional. Like you said, I think you had a valid point when you asked about, you always have a valid point, but when you asked about, you know, can a woman wear a bolo tie? 100% yes. 100% yes. You know, and that's, I just believe that jewelry can be worn by anyone that wants to wear it, you know. That's beautiful.
Our last little...
Yep, and then just a few more rings. This one is very early. This one could be late 40s, maybe a little bit before, but highly doubtful. Split shank. They continued this production in through the 1970s as well. This might be signed. I'm going to have to do some major research. And sometimes I won't be able to figure out these signatures, even if I had, 7 years, to figure out. But I will consult my old Arizona highway magazines because a lot of those are very, very helpful. What I love about this is, again, the bezels are made for every stone, and that variable in the size and the shape. Like you could see that this bezel wouldn't work for this stone, and this stone wouldn't work for this bezel. See what I'm saying? That takes great skill to be able to plan out those bezels and so carefully set these turquoise stones. I think that's my, maybe that's the slight difference that I've had through my years is being trained as an artist and speaking that language. That's maybe where I don't want to say the upsell comes in, but that's where the transparency and the truthfulness of design comes in. Sterling silver, completely hand fabricated. Really exceptional craft on all of these items. Sterling and gold filled. RJ is the artist. Should know it because it's more contemporary, but I'm not coming up with it at this point. Capital R, capital J. Very large bale on the top, and that's gold filled as well. But that's sterling silver and bicolored with the Cocopelli dancer.
I like the big bales like that.
Yeah, I do too. You know, and I've always said too, it's always better to have a bigger bale than too small because there have been so many pendants that I have on, like the one I have on today. This is the only chain this goes on. You know, that's the only chain that goes on is, you know. And my mom's looking at that because I just bought myself a beautiful crystal opal and diamond pendant. Did you see that? Look at that opal. Isn't that amazing? Look at the color of that thing.
Oh, that's really
I wish I could take it off and bring it on camera, but I can't.
That's okay.
Yeah. Turquoise nuggets, fabulous. Raindrop border. Love this triple shank construction and beautiful stones. So I love that one too. Really, really gorgeous. Very handsome. Male, female on that. I think a man could wear it. I think a female could wear it. Like I said, very interchangeable. Unisex. This one is red coral that looks... there's something going on. No, I was going to say there's something going on with the finish, but I see a couple things on there that there might be a lacquer over the coral, but they look natural. They may be dyed because it's a very universal color, so that very well may be color treated or dyed. And corals, you know, normally are. There's the 925 stamp right there on the bale. Look how thick that bale is as well. Very good craft, you know, and who wouldn't want a coral cross?
It's nice and thick.
Yeah. It's very substantial, but look how small, even though it's not, it's small, but it's not wimpy, you know what I mean? It's not, I don't know what other word to use because it's robust in its form. Look how thick the bezels are.
It's thick.
Yeah, I like it. And then this one, I don't want to say mookaite because that's wrong. But it looks like mookaite, and I don't think that is. I don't think it's the right color for mookaite. But it's got that orange and red, almost trail swirl. Look at that sterling silver rope twist and that shank. Very thick metal, and I've always said, pay attention to the thickness of the metal. The quality of this collection, I think overall, the quality of the collection is some of the best I've seen. You know, at least in the last, to be honest with you, in at least the last 3 years, I'll say that. This one does have some stones out. I will look through my stones and see what I have to see if I can restore this and get this back to life. And I would do that for free. If I have the stones, I won't sell this until I take a look through my stones and see if I could fix this up. It's probably going to be a different color. It's probably going to be slightly more pale than that, but really magnificent for design.
But there is a color variation
there is slight.
Stones.
Yeah, there is slight. You got that right. But that's what I said is like when they're not stable. Yeah, there is darker, a little bit more pale, a little bit lighter. Yeah, there is some variable there. The camera is really having a tough time picking it up, but there is a little bit of a variance there in color. I love that though. That's Zuni to me. You know, some people say Navajo, some people say this or that. This one. Let's see if I know the mine on that. And I don't. And it's not Veracite. Someone else would say, I think that's Veracite. This has some age to it. There's a central crack that runs through it. So again, if someone doesn't like a crack running through a stone, this is not for them. And there's a small crack and a small fissure through this edge right here as well. So beautiful stone. Really gorgeous mounting. So that's a winner. That is absolutely beautiful. I love the size of that. And then just this last one, and we're going to call it. So this inlaid one, onyx, and not
pretty.
sure. I really love
More
this.
dainty.
And I think we had earrings that were similar to this in the last sale. So, yeah, so there we go. We're going to call it. We're going to say that's it. Do you have anything else that you wanted to say, Mom, before we leave?
No, I'm just amazed at her phenomenal collection.
Yeah.
I mean, very lovely.
This is really amazing.
There's something for everyone in this sale.
Yeah, you know, and like I've said too, like, you know, when I look at my collection and I look at the way I've thought things out, you could tell that there was great discernment when she was buying or acquiring. She was thinking, like, so she didn't want to repeat herself. She didn't want to have, like, 3 rings like this, you know, in that same style, you know. She knew that she didn't have something like this, so that's why she went for that one. Very well thought out. Some collections are not. Some collections that I've seen are just very, you know, and there's nothing wrong, you know, different strokes for different folks, but this is definitely well thought out. And the craft and the skill that went into most of these pieces. Age variance on this, I think the earliest thing I saw was probably late 30s. The newest thing I saw was probably the turquoise beads that were like late 1990s, 2000s-ish, you know. But other than that, at the heart of this, it's from, you know, late 1940, a lot of 1950s, a lot of 1970s, so real heavy 1950s, 1970s. And that's what you want to see from Native American silver and Native American jewelry, and Mexican silver as well. So I can't leave that out. But is there anything you want to add? Is there anything?
No, except that this was a lot of fun.
I know.
I enjoyed it.
I know.
We'll have more stories in the future.
Yeah, so this has been pre-recorded a long time ago. By the time this airs, full transparency, this has been recorded a long time ago when the box came in, within a few days of the box arriving. For the sale, we're going to air this very, very close to the actual sale day. So more than likely it would be on a Tuesday. More than likely the sale would start at 7 o'clock and probably go until 10 or 10:30. If we can't get through all of it, we'll just say we're going to get through as much as we can and then have, you know, maybe a third sale, you know. And when the other box comes in, if there's more, then we'll have another sale after that. So, but since I don't know and I don't have a calendar in front of me, I can't really announce what day it is. But we will put the information in the description. More than likely, there will be additional information in the title. And of course, on Bully Run Coffee, Jeremy will do a short feed with some of the photographs of some of these items. I guess that's it. I would like to send a special shout out to the person who has trusted me with this amazing, lifelong labor of love. A collection is a true labor of love. A collection of such items, these things speak to us. They're body adornment. Many of these were pre-owned and had a history before this beautiful lady acquired them. I will say it's an honor. It's a privilege. I'm smiling. I mean every word that I say. From the love of a stranger, to trust me with such things, I find one of the most beautiful things I've experienced to date on YouTube. The support I get from all of you is equally as amazing. So never forget that. I appreciate you sharing me out. I appreciate you subscribing. And I most appreciate you trusting me. I think that's the one thing in this world we have very little of right now is trust. And I so appreciate each and every one of you. Mom, you've been the best co-pilot.
Thank you. We had fun. And I'll tell you, I think Jason spoke of this. He's very honored to do a sale for someone like this. It means a lot, and I'm very proud that he can do this for him.
Thank you.
Person.
Thank you. Well, thank you all so much. And I want you to go forth with a day of beauty. Thank you so much again to this lovely consignor. So, you know how I end this because it's totally true. We love you because we do.